Yes, good morning, class. Today we will start with the another frequency response analysis technique, that is Nyquist criteria. Okay. Previously we have seen Bode plot, root locus, Hurwitz criteria. These are where the stability analysis criteria of a frequency domain. Now another criteria which is very important, that is Nyquist criteria. So let's start the discussion about Nyquist criteria. So Nyquist plot or a polar plot. Yes, Nyquist plot, it is also called as polar plot. So Nyquist plot were invented by the scientist Nyquist. This is the name of the scientist. After that, the plot were given, that is Nyquist, who worked at a Bell Laboratories, the premier technical organization in the US at that time. At that time means so long ago. So Nyquist plots are a way of showing the frequency response linear systems. Yes, these are several ways of displaying frequency response data, including the Bode plots and Nyquist plot. So Bode plot use frequency as a horizontal axis and use two separate plots to display the amplitude as well as phase of the frequency response. That was Bode plot. In Bode plot, we have already discussed that Bode plot consists of two plots, that is magnitude plot and the phase plot. That only they are explaining here. And now the Nyquist plot displays both the amplitude and the phase angle in a single plot using frequency as the parameter in the plot. Yes. So Nyquist plots have the properties that allow you to see whether the system is stable or the unstable. I have already told you this is also another technique to identify the system is a stable or not stable system. So Nyquist plot or a polar plot does the same of identifying the system whether it is stable or unstable. So moving forward, Nyquist plot. A Nyquist plot is a polar plot of the frequency response function of a linear system. Yes, keep that in mind. Nyquist plot, it is used to determine the system having a linear system. So non-linear system, that Nyquist plot cannot be used. So a Nyquist plot is a polar plot of a frequency response function of a linear system. That means a Nyquist plot is a plot of the transfer function g of s, where s is replaced with j omega, as we are doing as we have done in the Bode plot also. Replace your transfer function, that is s, with j omega term. That means you want to plot g of j omega. G of s means g of j omega, as s is replaced with j omega term. So now g omega is a complex number for an angular frequency omega. So the plot is a plot of the complex number. What is the Nyquist plot? Nyquist plot is a plot of the complex numbers. The complex numbers, that is g of j omega, depends upon the frequency. So the frequency will be a parameter. If you plot the imaginary part of g of j omega against the real part, so it is a complex number of g omega where the frequency depends on the parameter of imaginary part of g of j omega, and also a real part of j omega. Means a polar plot or a Nyquist plot is a plot of both where the parameters are plotted on imaginary axis as well as on the real axis. So what is this polar plot? Sketch the polar plot or a Nyquist plot of a frequency response. What are the steps to sketch the polar plot of g of j omega for the entire range of a frequency omega, that is from 0 to infinity? Yes, there are 4 key points that you should keep in mind, or the 4 steps to plot the polar or the Nyquist plot. What is your first step? First step is the start of a plot where omega is 0. So this polar plot or a Nyquist plot, it will start at a frequency where omega is 0, and then the plot will end at where the value of omega would be infinity. Means we have to take the values of omega starting from 0 up to 0, 1, 10, 100 up to infinity. So the plot will start at omega equals to 0 and the plot will end at omega equals to infinity. These 2 points, have you understood? The plot will start at omega equals to 0. So omega value, first of all, we have to take 0 only. And then we should vary omega equals to 0, then 1, 10, 100, 1000, and then infinity, like this. So the plot will start at omega equals to 0 and will end at infinity, omega equals to infinity. Third point, very important, where the plot crosses the real axis, that is imaginary axis, g of j omega 0. Okay, we have to keep that in mind. Where the plot crosses the real axis means your x-axis, and imaginary axis means your y-axis in the S-plane. So where the plot crosses the imaginary axis, so first of all the plot will cross the real axis, okay, and then it will cross or up to where we have to take the plot, up to the imaginary axis. Means if I put the value of omega equals to 0, then it will cross the real axis, that is imaginary of g of j omega 0. And when I will be putting omega equals to infinity value, then my plot will cross the imaginary axis. Yes? So in this polar plot or a Nyquist plot, your plot will cover the real axis as well as the imaginary axis. Have you understood? Okay. So moving forward. So these were the 4 steps, and now actually we will see the plot, how it works. So a problem on polar plot of integrator, your transfer function is given as, consider a first order system, that is g of s, means g of j omega equals to 1 by j omega. Obviously we have to replace s with j omega. Now represent g of s in the frequency response term, that is g of j omega, by replacing s equals to g omega. So what will be my transfer function in that case? G of j omega equals to 1 divided by j omega, obviously. Yes? So if I take the j term on the numerator side, so reciprocals me 1 by, and if I will take j in the denominator, numerator side, it will be minus j by omega. The magnitude of j omega, that is mod of g of j omega, it is obtained as mod of g of j omega equals to 1 by omega. Okay. The phase of g of j omega denoted by phi, it is obtained by angle of j omega. So angle of j omega, it is minus 90 degree. Yes. So in case of Bode plot, if a pole is there at a origin, see first plot, it is they are showing comparison of Bode plot and then polar plot. First of all, if same numerical was there in case of Bode plot. So what I would be doing, as there is a pole at origin, my slope will start with 20 dB. Yes, this is C, 20 dB in minus side. So that's why your pole, it would be looking like coming downward from 20 dB, as there is a pole at origin. But see, now in case of polar plot, in second graph, what they are seeing. So omega equals to infinity, and then on denominator side minus of j omega, omega equals to 1, and then omega would be infinity. So in previous slide, what I have said, the plot will start at omega equals to 0, 0, 1, 10, 100, like that. And it will end at omega equals to infinity. Yes? So in that case, this is your polar plot. It will start at omega equals to 1 and then omega equals to infinity. So this was basic. This type of numericals, it will be not coming in your university paper. This is for understanding purpose only. We are taking the concepts, how the polar plots are drawn. So consider a basic example, and in a problem number 2, that is polar plot of first order. So if I would be given a first order system, that is g of s equals to 1 divided by 1 plus st. This is your first order system, where t is the time constant. All of you know that. Now represent g of s in the frequency response form. So g of j omega by replacing s equals to j omega term. Yes? So now g of j omega. Now replace s with j omega term. So g of j omega equals to 1 divided by 1 plus j omega into t. Yes? So the magnitude or mod of g of j omega, it is obtained as, how to take mod of this term, mod of this term. So the magnitude of g of j omega, that is mod of j omega, it is obtained by 1 divided by, see, mod of j omega, under root of 1 plus omega square j square mean minus 1, but as there is minus 1 in mod, it will be 1, so it would be omega square t square under root of. Yes? So now the phase of g of j omega, how it can be obtained? This was the magnitude of g of j omega. This was your magnitude of j omega. So how to calculate the phase? How to calculate the phase of j omega? So I have to take the angle of j omega. So angle of j omega equals to minus arc tan of omega t. In this case, yes. So the phase, sharing the slide once again. And was about from wait a second, on the screen. Yes, is it visible? So in this polar plot, we have to calculate the magnitude of your transfer function and then phase. So magnitude is your 1 by under root of 1 plus omega square t square, and the phase of j omega equals to angle of j omega, that is equal to minus r tan of omega t. The start of the plot where omega equals to 0. Yes. So in this magnitude plot, I have to take the value of omega is 0. So the start of the plot where omega is 0. So mod of g of j omega equals to 1 divided by root of c. 1 divided by 1 plus under root of 1 plus 0 means equal to 1 only. And how to calculate the phase of this? Phase equals to tan inverse of 0 by 1. 0 means your omega, omega by 1. So phi equals to tan inverse of 0 by 1, it is coming 0. So when omega equals to 0, your magnitude is 1 and your phase, that is phi, equals to 0. Now the end plot where omega equals to infinity. So in case of this 0 or omega, I have to keep the value of infinity. So mod of g of j omega equals to 1 divided by under root 1 plus infinity, means it is coming 0. Yes. So now how to calculate the phase of this? The phase equals to tan inverse of infinity by 1. Minus infinity by 1, then it would be coming minus 90 degree. So in case of omega equals to 0, your phase would be 0, and in case of omega equals to infinity, your phase would be minus 90 degree. So the mid part of the plot where omega equals to 1 by t. So I have taken the start point is 0, omega equals to 0, and the end point omega equals to infinity. Now I would be taking midpoint. Midpoint of this plot means omega equals to 1 by t. So omega equals to 1 by t. So mod of j omega equals to 1 divided by under root 1 plus 1. Under root 1 plus 1, root 1 plus 1 means that is your root 2. So 1 divided by root 2 in this case. Yes. And now the phase or the angle, that is phi of tan inverse minus 1 by 1. So minus 1 by 1 means it is your minus 1. Tan inverse minus 1 means it is 45, minus 45 degree. So I am having phase that is 0, minus 90, and then in between minus. So starting is your 0 angle, ending phase is your minus 90 degree, and then mid of this it is obviously minus 45 degree. So how the plot will look? So I have to make the table for this magnitude table and then phase table. So this one is your magnitude table. When omega equals to 0, I have calculated mod of g omega, it is coming 1, and then angle of g of omega, when omega equals to 0, it is 0. So these previously values, what I have drawn, this I have made in the tabular form. When omega equals to 0, then middle part is omega equals to 1 by t, and then extreme end value, that is omega equals to infinity. So what is your magnitude when omega equals to 0? It is 1. When omega equals to 1 by t, it is 1 by root 2. When omega equals to infinity, then it is 0. Yes. And then similarly, the phase or the angle of j omega, when omega equals to 0, it is 0. When omega equals to 1 by t, it is minus 45. And when omega equals to infinity, it is minus 90. This all calculation we have done this previously, and just in tabular form I have drawn this. So this table will be useful to draw your polar plot or Bode plot. So now no need of saying this Bode plot, you just directly come to your polar plot. So this table will give you the nature and the idea of your polar plot. So see, this is your x-axis. So when omega equals to 0, so see, when omega equals to 0, it would be 1 unity. See, mod of j omega, it is 1, it is unity. And then when omega equals to infinity, see here, when omega equals to infinity, your mod will be 0. So this plot, it is coming to 0. It is, first of all, it is 1. When omega equals to 0, it is 1. And when omega equals to infinity, this is 0. See, this is the junction of your plot. This is your 0 or reference axis. So reference would be when omega equals to infinity, it is 0. And when omega equals to 0, it is 1. So right hand side, this is your 1. How to plot your 1 axis? So 1, it should be plotted on this your right angle. Minus 1, it would be there. So minus 1, यहाँ पे आया रहता. This left hand side में. As it is 1, it is on the right hand side. When omega equals to 0, it is 1. And then omega equals to infinity, it is 1. And in between, I have taken your omega equals to 1 by t. This is 1 by root 2. And then, how it is coming into the minus 45? Here, this angle, it is minus 45. And see, the plot, it is drawn when omega equals to infinity, it is minus 90 degree. Minus 90 degree with reference to 0.5 and then minus 0.5 j. Here, it is making the angle of 90 degree. And you can calculate this angle in middle of the omega t. This angle would be obviously minus 45 degree. As this is minus 90 degree, half of that would be minus 45 degree. So like this, your polar plot is drawn. So if it is minus 45 and minus 90, that's why your plot is from bottom side, this bottom side. But if my value would be plus 45 and then minus plus 90, it would be from above this side. So as my value is minus 45 and minus 90, it is in lower hand side. If it would be plus 45 and 90, it would be from above. Yes, are you getting? Okay. Yes, like this you have polar. Yes, again many more examples. The polar plot for first order. Now this is the next numerical, the basic numerical. Previously I have seen pole at its origin and then again first order pole. Now I can see the polar plot of the second order system, how it would be looking. So consider a second order system, that is g of s equals to 1 divided by 1 plus st1 and 1 plus st2. Yes, this is your transfer function. G of s equals to 1 divided by 1 plus st1 and then 1 plus st2. So now representing g of s in the frequency response form, that is g of j omega, by replacing s equals to j omega. What is my first step? Replace s with j omega. So now g of j omega equals to 1 divided by 1 plus j omega t1 and then similarly 1 plus j omega t2. Okay. So same procedure. In previously we have calculated the magnitude and phase. In this also we will calculate the magnitude and the phase. The magnitude of g of j omega, that is magnitude of j omega, it is obtained as g of j omega equals to 1 divided by under root 1 plus omega square t1 square. So in case of s, I have to replace j omega and taking the square for the your magnitude. So 1 divided by under root 1 plus omega square t1 square under root 1 plus omega square t2 square. This is your magnitude. Now to calculate the phase. The phase of g omega, it is obtained by phi, that is angle of j omega equals to minus arc tan of omega t1 minus arc tan of omega t2. In this case, as I am having t1 and t2, then angle would be, it would be the minus of first and then the minus of your second. So minus arc of tan of omega t1 minus arc tan of omega t2. This is your angle or phase. So similar way, your starting point, it would be when you will take omega equals to 0 and then your end point, that is omega equals to infinity. So now angle of j omega equals to minus tan inverse of 0 minus tan inverse of 0. It would be coming, the angle of your j omega, it would be 0 degree obviously, and the magnitude would be, replace your omega equals to 0. So 1 divided by under root 1 plus 0 into under root 1 plus 0, that is 1 by 1, means your value would be 1. So magnitude would be 1 and then angle would be 0 when we take omega equals to 0. Obviously the end point would be omega equals to infinity. So when we put omega equals to infinity, so the end plot where omega equals to infinity, so mod of g of j omega equals to 1 by root infinity into 1 by infinity, means obviously it would be 0 only. So calculate the phase of this, or the angle of g omega equals to minus tan inverse of infinity minus tan inverse of infinity, means minus 90 and minus 90. It would be minus 180 degree. So previously we have made the table of magnitude as well as the angle or the phase. Similar way we will be doing here only. So first number, that is omega equals to 0, your magnitude, it is coming 0, and your angle would be 0. So when omega equals to infinity, your magnitude will be 0 in this case, and then your angle would be minus 180 degree. So see, now very important concept is there. Why this curve, it is crossing the real axis? See, for 90 degree, it will not cross the, as we have seen in previously, for 90 degree, it will not cross the imaginary axis, but minus 90 and minus 180, then it will cross the imaginary axis and will go to 0 when omega equals to infinity, as angle is minus 80. Now tell me, if my angle would be minus 270 degree. Yes, anyone, please tell. If my angle would be minus 270 degree, then where would be my graph gone? Yes. Your graph would be gone, see, like this. Are you seeing the pointer? Yes. This graph, it would be gone like this, and then it will cross real axis also. Then it should be here. Like this, it would be your plot, when your angle would be minus 270. Now in this case, it is minus 180 degree. That's why it is crossing imaginary axis. And when it was 90 degree, it was not crossing the imaginary axis. It was like this only. For minus 90 degree. This curve is for minus 180 degree. That's why it is crossing the imaginary axis. And when it would be minus 270 degree, then it should cross like this. Your imaginary axis also, and then real axis also. And your plot would be going like this for minus 270 degree. So have you understood this concept of your polar plot? You have to plot the magnitude as well as the phase, and this magnitude and as well as phase, it is plotted in single term. This is the main typical numerical which would be asked in your university examination. The problem is that sketch the Nyquist diagram or the polar plot for the system shown in the following figure, and then determine the system stability using the Nyquist criteria. So transfer function, it is given with a block diagram representation. In this, g of s is your 500 divided by s plus 1, s plus 3, and then s plus 10. And feedback, it is unity feedback. R of s is your input, E of s is the error signal, C of s is your output. So the open loop transfer function g of s into h of s equals to 500 divided by s plus 1, s plus 3, and then s plus 10. So my first step is to replace s with j omega. So g of j omega into h of j omega equals to 500 divided by j omega plus 1, j omega plus 3, j omega plus 10 as solved in the first step. So now take the magnitude of that. So multiply that all three brackets and it would be 500 divided by minus 14 omega square plus 30 in first bracket plus j. You have to simplify that three brackets and then take the factor of that. So minus 14 omega square plus 30 plus j 43 omega minus omega cube. Yes. So making simplify as shown in your next step, that is step number A. 500 in bracket minus 14 omega square plus 30 minus j 43 omega minus omega cube divided by your magnitude of that. Magnitude means under root of that square. Then minus 14 omega square plus 30 whole square plus minus 43 omega minus omega cube whole square. Why I am taking whole square? Because in my numerical it was under root of this. So replacing that under root and squaring both the sides, it would be minus this term, your A term. So the magnitude response would be magnitude of G of j omega into H of j omega. Yes. It is 500 divided by under root of 14 omega square plus 30 square plus under root of 43 omega minus omega cube whole square. So this was your magnitude response. Similar way, what will be your phase response? So phase is angle of G of j omega into H of j omega equals to tan inverse of imaginary part by real part. So tan inverse minus 43 omega. So see how to calculate this real term and imaginary term from this. Under root of your 43 omega minus omega cube divided by, this is your real, minus 14 omega square plus 30. Now we have to that the expression for the magnitude and the phase response, frequency response, we can sketch the polar plot with his 4 key points. So first of all, same procedure. Point 1, I will take omega equals to 0, and then 2 and 3 I will take something omega, and then finally it would be omega equals to infinity, like this one. So phase response, now point 1, it would be starting point of the plot, that is omega equals to 0. So angle of G of 0 into H of 0 equals to, so put here 500 divided by omega 0 जब put करेंगे यहाँ पे तो क्या बचेगा यहाँ पे root of 30 square only. So 500 divided by root of 30 square, it is coming 16.67. Yes. Now take the angle for that. Angle of 0 in angle of G of 0 into H of 0 equals to tan inverse of 0 by 30, means it is coming as 0 degree. Second point, the end point of the plot would be, starting would be 0 and end would be infinity. So the end point of the plot was omega equals to infinity. So put omega equals to infinity in that term. So 500 divided by root of infinity means 1 by 0. 1 by infinity means it is coming 0. So angle of g of infinity into h of infinity. So see, now in this case, tan inverse of infinity cube divided by 30. So minus 3, the infinity cube, it would be minus 3 into 90 degree. So minus 3 into 90 means minus 270 degree. Point number 3 is that where the plot crosses the real axis, that is imaginary axis of g of j omega equals to 0. So take the imaginary part of the equation number A and put equals to 0 to get the value of frequency omega at the intersection of the real axis. So put the value of omega equals to 0 in this equation at 43 omega minus omega cube equals to 0 at omega equals to 0, and your omega would be 6.56 radian per second. So if you are not knowing the point number 3 and 4 also, we can draw the polar or the Nyquist plot. How? Because we know the table of magnitude as well as the angle term. Okay? So magnitude of GH and then angle of GH. When first of all I have to put omega equals to 0. What was my magnitude? 16.67, and angle it was 0. Yes? And also when omega equals to infinity, what was my magnitude? It was 0, and then angle was minus 270 degree. So as the angle was minus 270 degree, it must have minus 90 degree, also minus 180 degree. That's why it is coming minus 270 degree. So with this table, I can draw the polar plot. How? See, at omega equals to 16.67, means 16.67, it would be on the right hand side. So on right hand side 16.67, as I have told you, the angle is minus 270 degree. So my polar plot, it would cross. See, this was 90 degree, this was 180 degree, and then how 270 degree would be? Like this. It would cross imaginary axis at point 8.47 j, this real axis, and then again it will cross the real axis and will go at 0. Okay? After 0, again for 90 degree, how my plot was? It would not cross the imaginary axis. So this was your 90 degree curve, and then making the encirclement for 8.36j. This was your omega value, that is 8.36j, and then the plot will circle at 16.67 minus 8.36j and then plus 8.36j. Okay, so like this we have to calculate the polar or the Nyquist plot to check the criteria for stability of my transfer function. So in university paper or university examinations, this polar or Nyquist plot, it is or with the Bode plot. Either you have to draw the Bode plot numericals or solve the Bode plot, or you can go for the Nyquist or the polar plot. So I think it is somewhat time consuming or delay. You can better go for the Bode plot numericals. So like this was the basic concepts regarding the Nyquist or polar plotting in upcoming numerical, we will see how actually it is drawn at the solved numerical in the upcoming classes. This was the basic idea regarding the polar plot. So in upcoming class, we will see more numericals related to Nyquist or polar plot. Till then, have a nice day. Stay safe. Stay at home. धन्यवाद. हे आता बाकी